Hey, hello my friend, hello my friend. If you've made it to this video, you've made it to the right place. Today, I'm going to be talking all about how to build rapport in the DMs without looking like Spamula Anderson so that you can either sell by chat from a Google Doc or set calls at will. You're going to learn how to build relationship and set calls. But the first thing that you need to know how to do is build rapport correctly, and that's what you are about to learn. Look in the description of this video and you will find how you can get in contact with me and get my template plus my help putting your own chat template together. Give me a like, give me a subscribe to my channel, and let's jump into the video. So today, what we are going to talk about is how to have no more pushbacks in chat or no more pushback in the DMs. Opening up your conversations the right way so that you get to your end goal. And that being said, let me go ahead and say this right now. When you enter a conversation, you should already have your end goal in mind. What am I trying to accomplish? Am I trying to accomplish setting a call at the end of this conversation? Am I trying to accomplish selling by chat at the end of this conversation? That's the end goal. So your starting goal is going to be to build rapport and build relationship. That's your starting goal. Like, we can't go into the inbox with commission breath like, oh, I'm about to make some money. No, we go into the inbox with, I'm about to learn who this person is, how I could possibly help this person, how I can possibly collaborate with this person, how we can, help each other. How can I provide value to this person? And when we focus on those things, all the rest of the things that we are trying to accomplish come natural. So when we come in with, I'm trying to get some money right up front, the person can actually feel that, and that does not make for a great conversation. So we don't want to be a Spamula Anderson and go in like talking about with a business first mindset. We want to go in with a relationship building mindset and a value giving mindset. So that brings me to what we're going to talk about today. This is first date. We're going to talk about first date. First date and second date can happen within the first day, or it can happen over the course of a few days, but it will all depend on how your conversation is going. Today, we're going to talk about first date. First date mindset, meaning introduce yourself and be a real person. Introduce yourself and be a real human being. Build rapport. Get to know the person that you are talking to. And I'm going to tell you in a minute how to do that. Establish a genuine connection. Let them know that you are interested in who they are, what they have going on, what motivates them. When people understand that you are genuinely interested in them, then the fight or flight brain goes out the window. So when we first come in contact with somebody, a person is usually in fight or flight mode. It's like, either I'm fixing to have to fight this person or I'm gonna have to run from this person because they don't know you. So people are afraid of the unknown. So what you have to realize is and think about is, how can I ease this person's fight or flight response within the first 5 seconds, or within the first 2 or 3 sentences that I send? How can I ease this person's fight or flight response? Don't rush in talking about business just like a first date. Like, you don't want to rush in going in for a kiss on the first date. Focus on getting to know the person first. Goes without saying. All right. Listen, this is Adriana. Adriana was able to set 20 calls in Messenger within 2 weeks using this exact framework that I'm going to teach you over the next 4 weeks. What I'm about to teach you lives in this section of my larger program. So this is a small section of my larger program that I'm about to teach you. Just for context, I want you to know that. So if you don't know me, I'm Tony Bailey, the founder of the Digital Revenue Accelerator Method. I created this program to help high-ticket coaches, service providers, and other experts quickly and consistently sign at least one new client every 14 days without needing to be a marketing expert. And it was only after I zoomed out and created a complete A to Z strategy that covers every step required to enroll ideal clients consistently that my business was able to take off. I've gone on to teach over 200 clients this exact system. Now, how I got into the online space was my wife introduced me to the online space over on the lunch one day. Long story short, we were sitting down to lunch one day, and she asked me, "Hey, Antonio, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?" And I told her, well, I'm going to work on somebody's job for the next 20 years and retire. And that didn't go over so well. She looked at me like I was crazy. And, my long story short, my online journey was born. My business acumen started. And here we are today. So if you, and I want to give you an invitation to come on over to join this group right here. This group has a course in it, and it is free. And you can come over and join this group and get even more value than what you are going to get right now on this call. Although what you're going to get on this call is awesome. So let's talk about how you can open up the conversation without looking spammy, and begin to build rapport. What you have to do is personalize and come into the conversation with context. Personalize your greeting. So you can say something like, "Hello, Susie. It's nice to meet you. I was over on your page and saw that you were into mindset coaching. I have friends in that space, so I decided to reach out." So like, people are going to want to know immediately why you are reaching out to them. This statement, "I have friends in that space, so I decided to reach out," is going to alleviate whatever trepidation in their mind that they are having, or whatever worry that they are having. This first statement brings down the crop brain. It lowers this guard that they have up. So, "Hello, Susie. It's nice to meet you. I was over on your page, saw that you were into mindset coaching. I have friends in that space, so I decided to reach out." And then you say, "I hope that's okay." Asking permission. More than likely, I have not had anybody tell me, "Nah, that's not okay." People are going to say, "Of course that's okay." Here's another one. "I saw that awesome rack of ribs you were cooking. It made me so hungry, so I decided to reach out. LOL, I hope that's okay." This is how you break the ice. This is how you go in with context. "I saw that awesome rack of ribs that you were cooking," with context, so that you can build a bridge. That's what context does. Context builds a bridge that you and that person can walk up to each other and greet each other and begin to have a meaningful conversation and build a meaningful relationship. So you're talking about breaking the ice. You can break the ice with light humor. "Hello, Susie. It's nice to meet you. I'm not a bot. LOL. This will lighten the mood." Acknowledge the connection. "I saw that we became connected, so I thought I should introduce myself." Here again, this is why I'm sending you a connection request. Why I'm sending you a friend request. Why am I in your inbox? I saw that we became connected, so I thought I should introduce myself. I hope that's okay. All right. Disarm their defenses. That is what this does. People are in fight or flight mode expecting spam. Break that pattern. This is a pattern interrupt. They are expecting you to come in and say, hey, how's your business doing? That is not what you're doing on the first date. That is not what you're doing on the first date. But remember, like I said, if this conversation is flowing smooth, you can go into second date, and we're going to talk about that next week. So what you want to do first before you go into the person's inbox, let's talk about that. Let's do a little housekeeping. You want to do your homework. You want to research their profile, check their location, check their interests, check their recent posts, so that what this does is it gives you context. It tells you about the person so that you don't just go into their inbox asking stuff and talking about stuff that they're going to say, you should have knew that. You should have went to my profile first. You're able to go into the conversation with them with a point of reference when you go to their profile and actually take a look at what's going on. Reference their location. I'm from Atlanta. I see that you're from Seattle, right? It builds a connection between you and them. It builds an anchor between you and them. All right. Ask about their experience. How are things there? I've never been there. How are things going on there? I have never been there. Show genuine interest. So you want to reference their content. I really like that post. I really like that post where you talked about mindset. How did you gain that awesome insight? Reference their content. Ask open-ended questions. How did you gain that awesome insight? Now, there is a time when you are asking closed-ended questions. When you're asking a this or that question. But that's later on in the conversation. Because what you want to do is you're going to ask open-ended questions, so that open-ended question is going to let you understand or show you how open they are to actually talking to you. Because if you get short answers, they're not in a position or not really feeling this conversation right now. If you ask one question and the floodgates open up and they start really, really talking, that's when you know to move on you can go on to second date right there on that exact same conversation. How did you gain that awesome insight? All right, give space. And so if you say, well, okay, I'm here, I've on first date with this person in chat, and I'm gonna leave the conversation right here. You always end that conversation on a question, and then just leave the conversation with the intention to come back tomorrow, because they're going to answer with the intention to come back tomorrow. So let me say this. Don't allow, just because you're on first date, don't allow the thought that I'm going to come back and talk to them tomorrow on second date. Don't allow that to stop your conversation. Remember, the only reason for you to stop the conversation is if you find that they are distracted, or you feel that they are not interested in what you're talking about or to talking to you right now. Otherwise, you have to strike while the iron is hot. Strike while the iron is hot. Statistics show that when you first start a conversation with somebody, that's the best time to actually go ahead and have a meaningful conversation and have a meaningful dialogue. Sometimes if you stop a conversation before it gets mature, you never really get that opportunity to come back and have that conversation again. So remember to strike while the iron is hot, unless you feel or the person shows you that they are not interested right now. Maybe they're busy. It could be any number of things, but they will give you indicators. All right. So give space and end on a question and wait for their response. So if you decide that this is first date, I'm going to come back and talk to them again tomorrow. I'm going to ask a question, and then I'm going to leave the conversation, come back and take that conversation up again tomorrow. Then, that's fine. Plan the next interaction. Continue the conversation on the next day. That's what I just went over. All right. So timing your approach. First date, build rapport and establish connection. That's first date. Pause. Leave the conversation on a question. This is what I just went over. Second date. Continue the next day for more information gathering. That's what's going on the next day. So you build rapport on first date. On second date, you gather information. That's when you kind of dig in. That's when you dig in and try to figure out, does this person need my help? Can I help this person? Is this person qualified to receive my help? How can I help this person? All right. This approach shows you're not desperate or trying to get something from them. It creates natural conversation. When you rush in, you seem desperate. When you rush in talking about business, it's like, oh, you just want my money. Oh, you think I'm, you can't do that. But when you go in and you build a little rapport and then you're like, hey, okay, I talk to you, we'll talk. I'm watching your content and that type of thing. People don't feel, you don't seem like you're so desperate. That repels people. That makes people want to get away from you. They don't like it. All right. They don't like that desperation. All right. So remember, this is one small piece in this step of my larger program. So the reason why I'm telling you this is I don't want you to think what we just went over, although very powerful, but it is not the complete system. So key takeaways: be authentic. Real conversations with real people. Be authentic. Next, build relationship. Focus on connection before business. And last, personalize your approach. Reference their content and their interests for context. Context over everything. Context builds relationships. Remember, this framework is fluid, not rigid. Adapt it to fit your personality and your communication style. And last but not least, I want to go ahead and also give another invitation. Come on into my group. You have 7 days to go through a free course to stay in that group and get all the value that's in that group. And if you're open to that, just let me know.